What if I told you that the tiny garden space you've been staring at is actually hiding double the harvest? Not by expanding it or buying expensive equipment, but by changing the direction your plants grow. Most gardeners think small space means small yield. But one growing method completely flips that idea, and today I'm breaking down exactly how it works. Stick around, because I'll also share one key trick most vertical gardening videos skip, the reason some people succeed and others don't. Welcome back to Earthly Gardening, and if you're new here, so glad you found this corner of the internet where we make growing your own food simple, smart, and easy on your wallet. I'm glad you're here today because this one is going to change how you look at your garden space forever. Before we get into it, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button right below this video. We drop practical gardening tips every week that are built for real people with real budgets and real limited space. And if you've got a question or you're trying this method yourself, drop it in the comments. I read every single one. Alright, let's get into it. Section 1: Why vertical growing works differently than you think. Now most people hear "grow vertically," and they immediately think about those stacked pocket planters you see all over social media. And while those work for certain things, that is honestly just the surface of what vertical gardening really is. Here is the real idea. Every plant in your garden has a natural growth habit. Some want to sprawl. Some want to climb. Some send out long wandering vines looking for something to grab onto. When you give those plants a structure to grow upward on, two things happen at the same time. First, the plant puts more energy into producing fruit instead of dragging itself across the ground. Second, the ground space that plant was using is now free. Free for you to plant something else. Something lower growing. Something that actually benefits from the shade that climbing plant is now creating above it. That right there is the secret behind doubling your harvest. You are not just growing up. You are stacking two harvests into the same square footage at the same time. One above, one below. Section 2: The plants that are built for this. Now not every plant belongs on a vertical structure, so let's talk about which ones are practically begging you to grow them this way. Cucumbers are at the top of this list. Left on the ground, one cucumber plant can spread 4 to 6 feet in every direction. Trained up a simple trellis, that same plant takes up less than 1 foot of ground space and produces just as much, sometimes more, because the fruits hang straight and grow longer without touching soil. Pole beans are another one. They are natural climbers. They do not need much help at all. A few sticks tied together or a simple string running upward and they will take care of the rest. Meanwhile, the ground beneath them stays open and cool, which is perfect for planting lettuce or spinach right underneath because those crops actually prefer that lower light environment. Tomatoes, especially the indeterminate varieties, the ones that keep growing all season, they want to go up. When you cage them or stake them properly, air moves through the plant better, disease stays lower, and you can plant basil or low herbs right at their base without either plant suffering. Then there are squash. Now this one surprises people. Squash vines are heavy, but they absolutely can be trained upward with the right support. The key is a sling. You can make one from an old shirt, a piece of netting, anything that cradles the fruit as it grows heavy. This frees up enormous amounts of ground space beneath them. Section 3: Structures that cost you almost nothing. Here is where earthly gardening lives, because we are not about spending more than we have to. The simplest vertical structure you can make is a lean-to trellis. Take 3 or 4 long sticks, bamboo canes, or even sturdy fallen branches from your yard. Push them into the ground at an angle, tie them at the top, and lean them against a fence or wall. That is your trellis. Cost? 0. String trellis is another option that works beautifully for lighter plants like peas and beans. Run a horizontal piece of wood or a dowel between 2 posts and hang vertical strings down from it. Plants grab the strings and climb naturally. The whole thing can be built in under 20 minutes. For heavier crops like cucumbers or squash, an A-frame trellis made from bamboo or wooden dowels gives you stability without spending much. You push 2 sets of sticks into the ground on either side of your bed, lean them toward each other in the center, and tie them at the top where they meet. Now you have an arch your plants climb over and the ground on both sides remains completely usable. Old pallets leaned against a wall or fence also make surprisingly good vertical growing surfaces. Slide pots into the slats, grow herbs and compact plants in them, and the wall behind becomes a productive space you were never using before. And before we continue, if this is helpful and you can already picture where you'd set this up in your garden, give the video a like. It really helps the channel reach more gardeners who need this kind of information. If you're new here, consider subscribing so you don't miss what's coming next. And drop a comment below telling me what you're working with: big garden, small balcony, raised beds, or containers. I'd love to hear about it. Section 4, the underplanting strategy that doubles everything. Alright, so now you have your vertical structure up and your climbing plants are growing upward. Now comes the part that most gardening videos never actually explain properly. What goes underneath? This is called underplanting, and it is the direct reason you end up with double the harvest from the same space. The concept is simple. As your vertical plant grows and starts to fill in above, it creates a microclimate below it. The temperature drops slightly, direct sun is filtered, moisture stays in the soil longer. That environment is actually ideal for a whole category of plants that struggle in full harsh sun. Lettuce is the perfect underplant. It bolts, meaning it goes to seed and turns bitter when it gets too hot. But planted under a cucumber or bean trellis, it gets protection from the afternoon heat and stays productive weeks longer than it would in an open bed. Spinach behaves the same way. Radishes too. They grow fast, they do not take up much space, and they are ready to pull well before your overhead climbing plant reaches full size and density. Herbs like cilantro and parsley prefer cooler spots and grow compactly. Tuck them at the base of your vertical structures and you have a continuous harvest of herbs without dedicating separate bed space to them. The timing matters here as well. Plant your climbing crop first and give it 2 to 3 weeks to establish. Then plant your undercrops. This way the roots are not competing at the same time and the overhead canopy starts filtering light right around when your underplants need that protection. Section 5, the one thing most people get wrong. Now here is the part 1 mentioned at the beginning. The thing most vertical gardening content skips over entirely. Training. Your plants will not automatically know to climb your structure. Especially in the first 2 weeks after planting, they need guidance. What this means in practice is going out every 2 to 3 days in the early stages and gently wrapping new growth around your trellis strings or tying it loosely with a strip of soft cloth or a piece of old pantyhose. Never use wire directly against a stem because it cuts in as the plant grows. If you skip this step, the plant sprawls sideways, finds the ground, and all the work you put into that structure becomes wasted. But if you spend just 5 minutes every few days guiding growth upward for the first 3 weeks, the plant takes over from there and does the rest itself. This one habit separates the gardeners who say vertical growing worked for them from the ones who say it didn't. Section 6, putting it all together for your space. So here is a simple example of how all of this looks in a bed that is only 4 feet wide and 6 feet long. Along the back, run a trellis. Plant cucumbers or pole beans at the base of it, spaced about 10 inches apart. Once they are a few inches tall, start guiding the new growth upward every few days. In the middle of the bed, plant your tomatoes and stake them. Keep them trained upright and pinch the suckers that grow between the stem and branches so the plant stays tidy and focused. At the front of the bed and tucked underneath both the trellis and the tomatoes, plant lettuce, spinach, or radishes. These will use the ground space fully and come to harvest before the larger plants overhead need all the soil resources. In a bed that size, you are now running 3 harvests simultaneously. Climbing vegetables above, fruiting plants in the middle, and fast greens below. All from 24 square feet of ground. That is the real power of vertical growth. It is not just about going up. It is about thinking in layers and using every inch of what you already have. You do not need more land. You do not need more money. You need a different perspective on the space that is already sitting right outside your door. If you try any of this, please come back and tell me how it went in the comments. Genuinely. Those stories are what keep this channel going, and they help other gardeners in this community know what is actually working in real gardens, not just on paper. If this video helped you, share it with one gardening friend who is working with limited space. That one share means more than you know. Subscribe if you haven't yet, and I will see you in the next one. Until then, keep growing smart and keep growing simple. Take care.